and rock.
Ooh yeah. Well, alright, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, jamming, and I hope you like jamming too.
Hello folks, so today I have gotten an order to make 100 meatless vegan balls or spheres, yeah, you know, meatless balls. And so I'm starting by using this amazing vegan plant protein that I picked up at IKEA. All right, and this will make up to 75 of these, you know, medium to small round spheres. I'm also blending up some vegetables, you know, garlic, cilantro, scallion, onion, and I'm adding some thyme to my container, to my food processor, and blending this up. All right, because I want to add my own flavors to the textured vegetable protein. All right, now you can use veggie chunks to make this. Just process it down and you know, and then add your additions to it. But for this recipe, I'm using the textured vegetable protein and just spicing them up. That's what the container says. You can add your own embellishments to it. It comes frozen, so once it is thawed, it becomes something like, almost like mincemeat, you know, like a very smooth version of mincemeat. And again, this is available at IKEA. I purchased mine at IKEA, and I found that the European brand of vegetarian foods is of a different quality than the ones in America and the ones that are made in the US. I find that they are more somewhat authentic, you know, and they don't include some of the things that vegans don't like, you know, the soy and the different things like that. And so I like working with the European standard. All right, so I'm just putting my 3 containers and putting the meat, you know, the textured protein into my bowl, and this is where I'm gonna start getting creative with it. All right, and this is how it looks, guys. As I said, it looks like a coarse flour dough, or it looks like a very smooth mincemeat, and it comes with the caramel color, and there is a limited amount of flavoring, but you have to add your own flavor to make it nice. So now I'm just pulsing my vegetables, and I'm gonna try to get it down to a smooth paste, and from there I just blend the vegetable in, blend my seasonings in, and from there we just pretty much gonna add some stuff to it. All right, so here I'm adding some green seasoning, some island green seasoning. I'm adding a little Moore's marinade, and I'm also adding some ground cumin, because cumin is super duper beneficial when it comes to seasoning certain things. I'm adding in some garlic powder, and I'm adding in paprika. Now this will give you that somewhat authentic jerk flavor. All right, I'm adding in, I also added some pimento, grounded pimento to that as well. And so yeah, you want that nice vibe, you understand? So this is what my vegetables look like, my little jerk sauce, somewhat semi jerk sauce, and then I just pretty much add it to my meat, you know, vegan meat, and I'm gonna work it in to the dough and make it incorporate, amalgamate and everything, and everything. And so we're good to go from there. Now guys, this is a semi homemade project, and because I was doing so much, it was a little bit hard for me to, you know, try to do all of this from scratch. So that's why I used the veggie pea protein, yeah, you know what I mean. So pretty much once you have this in, you want to start to, you know, blend it in as much as possible. Work the dough, you know, be a little bit on the gentle side, because you're not trying to knead it into a flour, like thick flour. You just want to get all your ingredients in, and from there you can start working the dough, incorporating it as much as possible. I was using my spatula, but after a while I washed my hands and decided to get my fingers dirty and just add, you know, start to blend it in using my hands, because it made for a better blend. And some of the meat was a little bit on the frozen side, just the same, the inside part, you know. So we just use our hand and work it in, and then from there we started to form the little circular shapes that is, you know, gonna be used as the meatless balls. All right, and I use a little bit of oat flour, yeah, or oatmeal to, you know, work the dough, and you know, just make sure that you don't get it sticky, because it's somewhere in between. It's almost like let me tell you what type. It's not like a dumpling dough. It's not that thickness, but it is workable. You know, you don't want it too soft because you want it to be manageable. You don't want it to fall apart when you're trying to fry it. You want it just right, and you don't want it too thick, because otherwise it's gonna end up become too overly meaty. All right, so this is how they look when you do, you know, finish up as much as you can. And for this, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna rest this in the freezer and get this ready to fry off in the morning. And then I'm gonna start to glaze it with my own little barbecue sauce. And this barbecue sauce can be anything that you guys choose to make it. You know, you can make your own from scratch. You can buy a store-bought barbecue sauce, whatever it is, you can add it to it. These are how they are looking, and we're pan frying them. Just keep the flame on medium or medium to low, and just give them a nice color. The good thing about the meat protein is that once it starts to cook, it gets a little bit more like a meat vibe. It's like a meat texture. All right, so here I have some barbecue sauce with a little bit of ketchup and my own personal vibe going on here, and I'm just reducing this down to a thick glaze so that I can start to glaze my my vegan meatballs. I'm using some baby Ray, I'm using some general chicken flavor, I'm adding in some scallions, I'm using a little bit of coconut oil and my own little array of seasoning. And see what I'm doing here? Just glazing them, you know, and I'm gonna put this in the oven so that the glaze sort of hold on to these meatballs. And once it is in the oven for a while, you know, we just keep glazing it to create a thick layer of glaze, you know, sweet and nice glaze over it, so that, yeah, you know, it look good. And there it is in the oven, guys. You see how them look? And we just keep the flame low and just let these do their thing. All right, this is the end result, guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to plate any or to decorate anything. I presented it in the chafing pan to my client and they took this and ran with it. Again, we're using the plant-based grounds, which is like a pea protein, and they sent me a little clip from their wedding function and they presented it nicely as part of the hors d'oeuvres table. And so, guys, it was such a pleasure to do it, and they loved it. They loved the taste, they loved the vibe. I'm definitely planning to do more of this in the future. So once again, this is just a quick one of how I make my meatless veggie vegan balls. All right, and remember, guys, to get your herbal detox from Yardie TV, yes, just look in the description for the information. Once again, live and laugh, cook, guys.